When we look at our students in our urban communities, we consistently see third grade reading scores consistently drop. But what can we do about it? Well, one, we can fund our education system. We can fund public schools. We can ensure that every child in this state that's 3 and 4 years old has access to early childhood education so they can walk into kindergarten prepared. We can do it, can we not? We can also ensure that our high school students, when they graduate from high school, aren't just prepared to go to college. We're going to make sure they're prepared to go to college. If they want to go to technical school, we're going to make sure that they can go to technical school. But when our kids graduate from college and they just happen to want to get a job, that should be okay too. And our system should be preparing them for that. And once they get that job, good people, I only want them to have to work one job to make ends meet. Is that reasonable? One job to be able to provide for your families, put a roof on your head. You know, in Polk County, where's Polk County at right now? Hey, Polk County. In Polk County, we have the luxury to be able to talk about how we can live, work, and play in our communities. How we can go to sleep in our communities. We can get up and have fun in our communities. And we can go and take our kids to decent schools in our communities. But that luxury is not available all over the state. But you better believe all 99 counties deserve that access. They deserve that access. All 99 counties deserve good housing in their communities. All 99 counties deserve good schools in their communities. All 99 counties deserve good housing that you can afford in your community. This state is not short of vision. As I travel in all of these counties, I hear good people talking about the challenges that exist, but I also hear them talking about the solutions. And when I ask them, what's the barrier? What's getting in the way of you resolving these challenges? They say investment. We're making do with what we have. We need the state to show up for us more. Where the state's going to show up for this entire state under my leadership.
Right. So I don't want to get into detail about because when we talk about universal pre-K, that's a source of a different type of funding. We need to go in and comprehensively look at how we expand child care access in the state and expand access to early childhood development. And the reason why I say that, we see our third grade reading scores consistently dropping. Not only do we see that, our kindergarten teachers are saying that our students are coming in less and less prepared. We've lost nearly 40% of our child care providers over the last 2 years. So there's a great deal of avenues that we can pursue to ensure that students get that access. It won't look the same from county to county. It will basically meet the needs of those communities, and we've got to make sure that the lanes are available to expand that access. So we're consistently seeing many things come from the governor's office, new ideas that seem to be piecemealed out, but their connection are with ARPA dollars, the resources that Congresswoman Axie and the Biden administration are bringing in. Now, we welcome those resources, right, to fix our bridges. We welcome those resources to clean our water and things along those lines. While we can utilize the resources from the federal government, it is incredibly important that we prioritize the use of Iowa taxpayer dollars as well. We cannot allow the federal government to fit the bill to resolve all the issues that exist in our state. We have to prioritize our funding. That comes with a comprehensive plan that we are severely lacking in this state right now.
What do you want to say to the people talking about the I for Iowa? What do you want to say to Iowans that don't know what to do? That they don't know who to choose? Why are you the candidate they need to go with?
You know, this is a pivotal point in our democracy right now where folks are questioning whether or not democracy is alive or dead. We see the January 6th hearings and we see the emotion that is coming out of those hearings, and I'm of the mindset democracy is a work in progress. You know, I told folks up there, first presidential election, you had to be a white male landowner to vote. And utilizing this tool that we call democracy has allowed us the opportunity to progress that. And I know during times of challenge, we may feel like there is no hope on the other side, but we've got a tool in all of our toolboxes as Iowa voters to exercise our right to vote. The state constitution says very clearly, all political power is inherent in the people. We have to believe in that principle. The voice of the voter is critical, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents. As a former basketball coach, I want the score to be fair at the end of the day, which means we need as many people participating as possible.
Last question.
You mentioned the rights of
So I'm pro-choice, and not only am I pro-choice, I'm also pro-women having access to routine reproductive health care. And this fight that our current governor has had on a woman's right to choose has not only hindered her ability to access abortions, but it's also hindered her ability to access routine reproductive health care. You all know the stats on the OBGYN clinics that have closed, the Planned Parenthood clinics that were closed, that gave women access to other services and men access to other services. And we also see the challenges with our infant mortality rates, especially amongst communities of color. And so there's a lot of work that we need to do. But at the end of the day, I believe these are the moments where we protect women and rather than regulate them. And we all know, well, maybe you don't know this, but pregnancy has infinite variables, and no one pregnancy looks the same. And the idea that government would like to define this infinite process in black and white on paper is just ridiculous. It's a regulation that's not a protection. And we've got to get back in the mindset of utilizing our law for the protection of people. But here we are, right? The Supreme Court has said, we're going to give the decision to you, the same way that they did with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. They handed it over. And we saw the issues that happened to voting rights as early in this state as last year. Secretary of State candidate Joel Miller is over there and can attest to it. Needless to say, we're going to do something about it in our state because as Iowans, as I told you all earlier, we know where we're capable of and we're not going backwards. Those fights on abortions were fought for good reason. We know the outcome and we know that the challenges that women were facing. I just learned not too long ago about the no-tell motel. We don't want women to have to go back there and lose their lives and lose their dignity, right? We want to protect women, a group of folks who have disproportionately left the workforce. They were educators, they were nurses, they were on the front lines. And rather than our governor stand up for that person, what she's choosing to do right now is further restrict. And that's not a position that I would like to be in. And that's not a position we should be putting Iowans in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all so much. That's all we have for today.
She's officially running for governor. Yes, come on.
That's okay. Oh, are you signing up to volunteer? Awesome. Thank you.
Somebody wants to say hi to you.
Yes, I'm good. I was just thinking that. Okay, someone, well, it was